and all of the things. And then I'm gonna start by just reflecting on the these were the mantras that we came up with last week when we were talking about the throat chakra. And we had, I speak my truth. I will speak my truth more. I speak my truth through listening. I speak because I can. And I will speak from my heart. And that was our throat chakra and communication and all that stuff. So welcome. This week we're going to focus on the brow or the third eye chakra. So I welcome you to check in, let us know your name, where you're connecting from. If you have a connection to intuition, or if you have something you'd like to share about your intuition, please feel free. If you have something that you're hopeful for today, or you have a goal for today, that'd be great too to share. And then it's so random, but like if you have a favorite TV show or something you like to watch, please feel free to check in and share that as well. I'll open up the floor.
Hi, everybody. Hopefully you can hear me over everybody else. Jordo joining from a cabin in the woods with some family in Hocking Hills, Ohio. Sure. Jeffy's here, Jordo's twin brother. Happy to be joining. Feeling grateful for nature, family, and togetherness.
Welcome, Jeffy. Good to see you.
Hi, my name's Dakota, connecting from Pennsylvania. Connection I have to intuition. I went to school for finance, so I've done like a lot of financial studies and like trying to predict like stock movements. So that's like a lot of intuition there, but a lot of math too. Something I'm hopeful for today. I'm gonna try to work out after this group. My favorite show to watch is at least the show I just watched was a Korean dubbed show called Alchemy of Souls on Netflix. Really cool.
Nice. Thanks, Dakota.
I can go. My name's Jonathan, and I'm connecting from the Bay Area, San Francisco. Connection I have to intuition. I don't think, very intuitive in the sense of when I'm and then available and free. Something I'm hoping for today is be available. Just to be available. And I haven't been watching any shows in a very long time. Bill Cosby show.
That's a classic.
Yeah, it's dated for sure.
Yeah, I used to watch that all the time, Jonathan. I love it. Awesome. Welcome. we lost Jordo and family, so we'll give them a second to come back.
I can go in the meantime if you want.
Yeah,
My
thanks.
name is Scott. I'm connecting from Ottawa, Ontario, Canada. A connection with intuition. Well, my brain is about one of the only things I do that I like about myself. I'm constantly reading rooms and constantly, due to the way my brain is spicy, analyzing data. Something I'm hopeful for today is sort of a light and breezy day. My brain feels like it's on fire. It's because burning the midnight oil. And my favorite show to watch. That is a difficult one. I have two in mind right now. One I put on in the background because I've seen it 4,000 times and it's just noise and it makes me feel comfortable. And that's Stargate SG-1. And I tried watching the new Witcher series without Henry Cavill, and I'm like, but it's I like a lot of dark fantasy kind of stuff, so I'm trying to give it a shot, and it's okay so far. Thanks.
Nice. Thanks, Scott. And thanks for turning on your camera. I know how early it is for you. Brendan, would you like to check in with us? Yeah, go ahead.
Sorry, my mute was on. Hello, good morning. My name is Brendan. I'm from Ottawa, Canada. A connection I have to intuition is a little hard to explain, but I've always felt that I've had this ability to anticipate things. Like with my mom or just with everyday life, but it's always been there. And that's really what first attracted me to spirituality, is the fact that I know that there's something going on in my brain that isn't mechanical. It's more spiritual, for lack of a better explanation. Something I'm hoping for today is to get outside and get some fresh air. I've got my sister coming to stay with my mom, so I get to go out and play. My favorite show to watch on TV is, I shouldn't admit this, but it's CNN. I love being current with news. It makes me feel good. Thank you.
Good, thank you. And Michelle, would you like to check in with us?
I'm sorry, I'm just gonna say hello to everyone. I'm trying to be mindful of my surroundings. I ain't feeling where I'm at, so I'm gonna listen for a few.
All right, awesome. You're welcome here, Michelle, anytime. So I'll check in. My name's Angus, and I am connecting from Ottawa, Canada. A connection that I have into intuition. So I like to really be specific when I think of intuition, because usually for me, intuition is wrapped in like hypervigilance or trying to take in my surroundings. Often intuition is wrapped up in trying to understand. what's going on, if that makes sense. So if it involves other people, it's trying to understand how I relate to them and they relate to me and it relates to us. But intuition for me is that deep seed that is within all of those other experiences that helps inform me of me and what I need and what I want and what's important. Something that I'm hopeful for today is warmth. It's been sunny but chilly. Yesterday was really kind of rainy and gross and not great. So I'm hopeful that today the sun brings some heat and some warmth. And my favorite show to watch is probably not a secret. I could watch Drag Race, RuPaul's Drag Race all day, every day. I've been a fan since the very first show. That culture, just the expressions that come out of there, the life that is shown and the ability to play and just live authentically is amazing. So I really love. I also I follow a lot of Ram Dass teachings, and one of the first quotes that I saw from Ram Dass is "We're all God in drag." So I really just love how that show kind of brings one end of the spectrum of that concept. So I really love that. So welcome everyone. Let's watch the video that kind of we'll talk a little bit about. We'll give a bit of background about the about this chakra, so ajna, or the third eye chakra, and then we'll discuss what that looks like and then do our meditation with Jordo. So let's take a look at that.
The sixth, brow, or third eye chakra, is an enchanting indigo orb rotating in the center of the brain, called Anya, which means perceive, command, or beyond wisdom in Sanskrit. This energy center is associated with clarity, understanding, evolution, intuition, intelligence, and psychic powers. The physical correlates of this chakra are the midbrain, hindbrain, eyes, microbiome in the sinonasal cavity, and pituitary gland. When unbalanced, migraines, sinus problems, visual defects, and some ear problems can emerge. Healthy and balanced, the brow chakra produces illumination, the ability to see things clearly, patience, and insight. The brow chakra's element is light, the force that reveals the true nature of all things.
All right. So that kind of explains a little bit more about some of the attributes that go around that the third eye chakra. Any thoughts or any connections made to the video? Any thoughts around how you are able to remain focused, or how you can find focus? Or if there's anything that you've kind of learned from the video that sort of ties into your experience with your intuition?
Hey, so I guess the connection I made to the video was patience. They say that this can help you have patience, and so I think like really wise people, know they have that intuition that they can just be patient and let things go. Ways I can stay focused. I think what I try to do is I try to get like really passionate about what I'm trying to do. And if I'm really passionate, I'm really going to pay attention. Something I learned, didn't really learn much that I didn't know, but it was really interesting, really cool. Thank you.
Yeah, thanks, Dakota. I just put the prompts in the chat so that we can see each other. Jordo.
Yeah, hi. You know, something that I connected to in the video, I like how it mentions the connection to the microbiome living in our sinus cavity. And that makes me think about what intuition means to me and how it's listening to the inner wisdom of all the inputs coming to us, including our own inner light, our own inner wisdom, and, you know, kind of getting out of the intellectual framework, but more of that instinctual set of knowing. And just that whole idea of the microbiome makes me think of the gut biome too, and how we have, you know, we're this organism, but we're also this living ecosystem of all these beings and inputs creating who we are. And just that intuition means listening to all the parts of us and knowing from that place.
Mhm. Thank you, Jordo. For me, it's interesting because when I think of the chakra, it's relating to the eyes and what we see and what we're taking in. And when you think about how much data we take in just through the eyes, sensory wise, it's kind of interesting to think of just how much energy goes through this chakra. And it kind of is sort of like if you're looking from the front, the chakra is kind of here. But then from the side, if you're looking at it, the chakra also includes the area sort of between our throats and our minds, right? But then it also, it affects the pineal gland, and that gland is very light sensitive. And if you think of the location of that, it's really kind of like the very center of our brains, like kind of just behind the eyes. So it's kind of interesting to think about when it says when we have like an unbalanced chakra, it can really affect a lot of those other senses, like our ability to see, which, you know, if we're not seeing clearly in general, it can affect how we feel emotionally too, right? So it's just interesting to see what all ties into just that whole area. That's what I kind of took from it, how complex it can be. Any other thoughts or anything coming up around that area, around intuition, around staying focused or the need for focus? I always think of like seeing is believing too, right? And sometimes perception can really impact my belief system. So if I'm perceiving something and it's tying into it, like if I'm seeing things but experiencing fear, it can really adjust my perception of everything and really kind of have a lasting effect on my wellness. So that's where I was mentioning before about really differentiating what is intuition versus what is perception. Intuition to me is connected to the truth in a more general and universal sense, as opposed to what I might be experiencing at any given moment. And that's because I experience like panic and anxiety and depression. So those things can really pull me from one side to the other in terms of that core belief system. So intuition is being able to kind of remain calm and peaceful amongst those storms, if that makes sense. So buys me some time to be able to be present, as opposed to traveling backwards and forwards through my emotions. Any other thoughts on that? Any way it comes up for folks?
I just wanted to add that the way you were describing intuition as being sort of that more big picture clarity of truth rather than being in our moment-to-moment experience. It makes me think a lot about the power of mindfulness and how when we practice mindfulness in different ways, it takes us out of being caught by these moment-to-moment experiences and seeing them for what they are in just a passing experience, and allows us to see some of that intuitive truth behind what's going on. So I just wanted to call that out. That's what it made me think of.
Yeah, thank you, Jordo. Brendan?
I found this when I was reading about the chakra, and I'm just going to read it because it might seem controversial to some people, but I think it's very, very in par with the word intuitive. It is said that meditating upon this chakra destroys the karma of past lives and brings liberation and intuitive knowledge. And I just found that really, really interesting to contemplate on.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that, because karma, and not to get too too wordy or whatever, but it reminds me of the saying, my karma is my dharma, which kind of just translates into like, dharma is basically our lives, right? And some of the experiences that I've had are definitely ones that I've inherited from family, generational family stuff, the way my family operates, and sort of the influences on those things. Bye, Michelle, it's good to see you. And so that karma, like that sort of energy and that collection of circumstances, that is something that I've had to process, and I do process on a regular basis. And when I think of past lives, right, like, when we learned about the first three chakras, the root, the sacral, and the solar plexus, those ones are really grounded in our physical bodies. And that's the thing, is when we're born into these lives, into these bodies, we really are sort of inheriting what's existing here. And so I feel like there is a connection of like just previous energy and energy that's generated just from the existence that we're born into. So I really appreciate that. We have space for more if anybody has any thoughts or insights that they're feeling. Awesome. How are you feeling, Jordo, about leading a meditation?
Great. I'm going to just take a moment to move to a little bit quieter location. But sounds wonderful.
So awesome.
Yeah, he's gonna go find a quieter place. So cute.
I feel as though Georgie may also go and find that place too, given the opportunity.
Oh, yeah.
I'm loving the being able to see all those trees and living vicariously.
Okay, wonderful. Thank you for your patience, everybody. This is the back of the house. It's really, if anyone's ever heard of Hocking Hills or haven't, I recommend it. It's a beautiful hidden gem in Ohio that not a lot of people know about. There's some beautiful waterfalls and caves and just really nice rolling hills and forests.
Nice.
Okay. Also, this is the first time I've gotten to meet my niece, Edith.
Oh, yeah.
She's about 6 months old, so this has been a real treat this weekend. I invite you all to find a comfortable meditation posture. Just have your spine nice and straight without forcing it too much. And let's take 3 deep breaths at your own pace. Really filling up the stomach as we breathe in and pausing at the top. And as we release, allow yourself to just settle a little deeper into your posture, letting gravity settle your body and support you. Just another 2 breaths like this. Now bring your attention to just the sensation of your breathing. You can settle into whatever pace or depth of breathing feels natural. No need to change it. And just notice what it feels like breathing in, that expansion, and that release on the exhale. We'll stay with these breathing sensations for just a few moments. I invite you to bring your awareness to that third eye chakra location, the middle of our head, behind the brows. And here, imagine a glowing orb of an indigo bluish light. And as we breathe in and out, this light pulses like the flame of a candle. Here is our center of intuition, deep knowing, clarity. Allow this light to slowly grow and spread in your body, going up to the top of the head and coming out the crown chakra, and also traveling down through our throat, our chest, all the way connecting to our other chakra energy centers, down through our tummy, where our solar plexus is, past the sacral and the root chakra, expanding down our legs, all the way to our toes, until our body is encompassed in this gentle pulsing indigo blue light. And as we connect to the chakra, with each breath in, we connect to our intuition, our inner wisdom that's always been there. And our out breaths, we release any blockages to allowing this light to glow any blockages preventing our intuition from expressing itself. Notice any sensations or feelings that come up as you connect to this energy center behind our brow and our third eye. To yourself, repeat the following phrases, with each connecting to this blue light and the sense of our innate wisdom and intuition. I live aligned with my authentic self. My inner wisdom guides me to my highest good. I am connected to the wisdom of the universe. Again, notice any thoughts, physical sensations, or feelings arising. They're all right. They're all okay. And now this blue light begins to recede slowly back up our legs and torso, and down from our crown chakra until it all goes back into this third eye energy chakra center, burning a little brighter and clearer than before. As we begin to end this meditation, notice any sounds in your surrounding environment. Allowing them to be and pass through. Notice the body, sensation of the contact with where you're sitting, your feet on the floor, your hands. Give your fingers a little wiggle. Coming back to where we are right here and now. May you live true to your authentic self. And may you have clear connection to your intuition to guide you to your highest good. In your own time, when you're ready, may open your eyes. Thank you.
Thank you, Jordo. When I was looking into like just sort of researching and looking at the information around this chakra, there were a couple of exercises that it gave as optional practice. So I'll probably share that. I'll email you guys a couple of those exercises, because one of them is said to really be helpful if because it talked about migraines and stuff like that. And one of the exercises is essentially closing our eyes and then using our eye movements to basically stretch and reset our vision. And then another exercise is essentially like focusing on all the colors of the chakras, and so moving and expanding those colors. Like as you mentioned, we have the blue for this, so I'll share those as well. But I just appreciate that. So let's take a look. Screen. So in terms of today's session and that meditation, how was the session for us today? And if you have a powerful personal mantra that you can apply to yourself that you'd be up for sharing, that starts with I see, please feel free to share that. If you have an intention for this week, or if you'd like to set one now, feel free to share. And then if you have an action that you're going to take in order to achieve that and reaching that goal or that intention, please feel free to share that as well. And I'll share. For me, today's session was great. I'm really appreciating these sessions. It's each week we've had a number of folks join us, and it really helps. It's been helping me because you know, mindfulness and Reiki and body work and all of these things, this is stuff that I've been doing for about 15, 16 years now. And yet I still feel like I'm at the very beginning of learning or even developing a personal practice around it. But what that tells me is that, you know, like everything, I learn in a different way, and I learn in a unique way. So just having the structure of this has really helped me personally. I'm loving the time that I get to spend on it away from this group, and then just being able to connect like this is awesome. You know, being able to join Jordo's family in the woods for a little bit is so sweet, and just being able to feel the connections with Jonathan in California and then the local folks here in Dakota, of course. Like, I'm just really appreciating these opportunities to have these connections and see these threads. A personal powerful mantra for me is, I'm gonna say I see clearly. And for me, that mantra is going to remind me that even when things are cloudy, I still can see clearly. It might take me a minute, it might take me 10 minutes, it might take me another 15 years, but I'm capable, I'm able. So, and an intention that I have for this week is, I want to purge more stuff in my apartment. I've been on a mission for a number of years now to just clear the clutter internally and externally. So this week I'm gonna look for ways to get rid of more stuff that I don't need, and I will achieve reaching this by chipping away at it, right? It's just nothing of progress, not perfection. That'll be another mantra that I have this week. Jordo?
Yeah, thank you. Today's session was great. I love the fact that I'm able to still do this, even though I'm on a family trip and somewhere new, and I don't have a mantra that I've used in the past, but I'll create one now. Powerful mantra I will use, that will apply to myself this week, is I see what is real. And that meaning to me that I will apply mindfulness more intentionally in my everyday to notice my experience and lean into that, but also see what is my perception and experience and what's actually happening, because many times those are related but two very different things. And an intention for this week is to appreciate the connections I have in my life, and to think a little bit about them and just give them a little more homage, to just really appreciating the vast network of connection I have and how much it means in my daily life and wellness and support. And I'll achieve this by, I don't know, maybe I'll journal about it. I think that, I'm not a big journaler, but I'm starting to do it a little more, and it's a practice that I'm really enjoying. And so maybe be more consistent in that. Oh, great to see everybody this week.
Thank you, Jordo. Thanks for connecting and making room for this, right? To me, that demonstrates that we can make room for personal practice anywhere we are.
Definitely.
Floor is open if anyone else would like to share.
I'll share. Today's session was really good. It really helped me focus on a couple of things, and it was connected to something else I'm doing in my life right now by choosing moral goals and social goals. So I see that I can do the greater good. Like in the meditation, I can do the greater good. And I will achieve this by trying to find out more information about how the things I'm involved in, how they benefit other people,
I love that. Thank you, Dakota.
I can go. Today's session I was very grateful for. A mantra. I see that I am that I am. I have that I am a lot, but to see it, to breathe present is important. An intention for this week, I wish to see and accept and be gentle. And I'll achieve this by breathing. Thank you.
Thank you, Jonathan. I love that. I see that I am that I am. It's beautiful. Mr. Brendan, do you feel like sharing and checking out with us?
Yeah. I found today's session was very uplifting. And thanks very much to Jordo for the meditation. I found it really, really relaxing, and I could actually see the blue light, which was really kind of cool. I could see the actual shade of blue that it was. A powerful mantra, personal mantra I will apply to myself this week. It was hard to get this into one word. I see what beautiful things await for me. And that's what I want to say because it's important to me. And I just am really happy with where my life is going. An intention for this week is to start using my weights. I know that sounds odd, but it's something that I've been meaning to do for a long time. I will achieve this by setting up a schedule of like doing arms one day and then rotating and then doing arms the next day, that sort of stuff. So I'll set up a rotating schedule for what parts of my body I'm going to work on with my weights. Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you, Brennan. Mr. Scott?
Oh, this session was pretty good. It's the one chakra I actually knew. A powerful personal mantra I applied to this week. I see great opportunities on the horizon. And I'm looking forward to them. The intention for this week is to sort of not be so obsessive over projects and learn to slow down. Take it down a gear, I guess, is a more manageable goal. And I will achieve this by taking wellness breaks for myself, whether that means stretching, whether that means going outside and touching grass, whether that means doing all the things. I will do my best to achieve it by telling myself to stop pushing through when I'm tired or when I'm anxious, and just try to feel those feelings and just try to acknowledge those feelings and maybe take a nap. I'm 32 years old and I'm learning the values of naps now. So, yeah, that's me. Thanks.
Nice. Thank you, Scott. I just want to review those mantras that we have. So I see clearly. I see what is real. I see I can do the greater good. I see that I am that I am. I see what beautiful things await for me. And I see great opportunities on the horizon. And when I see those mantras, right, it's a reflection of the last 52 minutes we've shared together. And in the 52 minutes we've shared together so far, what have we done? Right? We've put aside whatever else is happening in our world, and we used our intention to come here. Not knowing what was coming. We had an idea, we had a hunch, but who knows what shows up in these spaces, right? We took incremental actions to just be here. We had a little bit of discussion. Jordo led us through a meditation. And as a result of all of that collection of actions, we came up with a set of mantras that I feel are universal, But what I love about them is they're all incredibly individual, and they're all a reflection of where we are right now, right where we are. So I really appreciate that, because at the same time, right, there's 6 boxes here. Each of those contains a whole world of experiences that led us from where we've come from, and are really informing us of where we're going at the same time. So I kind of just wanted to say that, because mindfulness and meditation isn't a huge secret. It's not something that any of us have invented. It's part of like the wisdom and the knowledge that gets handed down by people who have lived these lives before us. So it really is about what can we do at any given moment, and even if we falter, because we will. Life is about that, right? Our brains will take every which direction. But it's like Dakota, in what you're sharing, and the work that I know that you're doing, and the preparation that you're doing in order to support other people that go through the things like we do. It's your focus, your ability to focus on that, that's going to create all of that magic. And you really are doing a lot of great work, right? So it's being able to sit in our confidence, sit in knowing that even though all of this other shit can happen and will happen and does happen, we also get to choose another experience. We get to access emotions, thoughts, feelings, and experiences that are not just a summary of what we're going through in any given moment. And meditation can last for 10 seconds, and it can last for 10 days. Like there are people who go on 10-day retreats and do it for the 10 days. The magic is really in just picking up where we leave off at any given moment. So I appreciate everybody. Jordo, you have something to add?
No, I was just waiting when you said some people do 10-day meditation retreats. That's me.
Yeah, well, that's what I mean. The ability to do that.
Yeah, I'm fortunate I was able to. It's a marathon though, and it's crazy, because when you do a long meditation retreat like that, when you're first starting, there's this like, oh, I gotta like hurry up and meditate, and then you realize, wait, that's all there is to do while I'm here. And then eventually you sink into this beautiful, deeper mindfulness state where you're just focused on this moment here and now. And it's powerful when you can have the time to do that, because so much of our lives are busy and focused on our next task. And when all you're focused on for a few days is just being present, what a gift.
Mm-hmm.
And challenge.
Mm-hmm.
And I just wanted to echo your gratitude too. We have one more chakra to cover in this series of meeting in community and intention, and it's been a really wonderful, constant aspect in my life to do this weekly and know that, okay, it's Sunday and I'm going to check in, and I'm going to create a little space for mindfulness and being present. And it's been wonderful connecting to some new people and reconnecting to others that I've met before. So appreciate all of you.
Yeah, really appreciate you too. Yeah, I'm so I think of the times that we're living in, and I'm so thankful that we have the technology that exists where we're able to meet and know people in real space, but also be able to connect and be connected to them in digital space. Because for me, I'm connected to all of you all the time. At any given moment during the week, if I'm sitting down to meditate, and this is part of my Reiki stuff, but I'm able to send loving kindness to all of you. And just the ability to sit in my apartment, in my thoughts, and to have that intention of just wanting to connect on a different level, it buys me that comfort and that peace and that love, because I'm able to tap into it and receive it as well. So you're all out there living your lives, but in those moments, I'm able to use mindfulness and meditation to send and receive love. And so I love that we are in a time where we can do that digitally as well, because even, you know, people use technology in every which way, that they don't get the same benefit that I feel even right now from the last hour that we shared together. So just really appreciate you all. And it looks like that's our time. Any other final thoughts or feelings?